right. He was teaching us translation, right, Mamsa Kurdistan?
Yeah, by the way, I have talked about them for the
Yeah.
only one that I have benefited from.
Yeah. And they told us, you are 80 students, and 10 of you could be a translator. After the lecture, directly I asked him, please, mister, can I be a translator? Will I be the one that you talked about in the class? Yes, you will be the translator. Thanks God, after the graduation, I became the translator and I was working for GK Satellite TV. I was responsible for the translation of the whole channel. I was working on Associated Press and Reuters agency. Today, we are going to talk about the tool. In this way, right? Translation and legal translation. What's translation? A short definition. It's the process of translating words or text from one language to another language. And in another meaning is the communication of the meaning of a source language text by means of an equivalent target language text. For example, you have a document. For example, a marriage contract. Most of the documents in Iraq are written in Arabic language. So, for example, if someone comes to you and asks you in order to translate it into English language, so the source language will be Arabic and the target language will be English. So, the word of translation, we want to talk about the etymology of the word translation. It derives from the Latin word translatio. It means that translation is a word more than one syllable. It consists of the word translation or translate or trans, then with the suffix of I-T-I-O-N, which comes from trans across plus ferry, to carry or to bring. Relation in turn coming from latest, the past participle of ferry. Thus translation is a carrying across or a bringing across in the case of a text from one language to another. And there is another research which tells us that it comes from the word translation. It refers to the ancient time of Greek times. We have many theories on translation, but because the time is too limited, I can't explain all of them for you. And because my target is that to talk about the legal translation. So one of the theories is discussions of the theory and practice of translation reach back into antiquity and show remarkable continuities. What do we mean by antiquities? The words tells us that the translation, the history of translation refers to the ancient time before Christ, وقت پیش هجری. Like during the Sumerian authority, they were dealing with the translation. Ancient history is a time period from the beginning of writing and recorded human history to as far as late antiquity. The span of recorded history is roughly 5,000 years, beginning with the Sumerian cuneiform script. Ancient history covers all continents inhabited by humans in the period 3000 before Christ and Anno Domini 500 Anno Domini during the inhabited times for human beings. کەواتە مێژوەکەی زۆر کۆنە 3000 ساڵ پێش زاین و بە 500 ساڵ دوای زاینیش کار لەسەر پرۆسەی ترانسلیشن کراوە. کۆمەڵێک کەسمان هەبووە تەنها ناوەکانیان ئەهێنی. Each of them holds its own theory on translation. John Dryden was an English poet, literary critic, translator, and playwright. Marcus Julius Cicero was a Roman statesman, lawyer, scholar, philosopher, and academic skeptic. Samuel Johnson, which was called as Dr. Johnson, was an English writer who made lasting contribution as a poet, playwright, essayist, moralist, etc. Martin Luther was a German priest, theologian, and author, hymn writer, professor, and Augustinian friar. Theories owners on translation. John Dryden, Marcus Julius Cicero, Samuel Johnson, Martin Luther. So, we have the word interpreting. So sorry for being too fast in this process because I want to focus on the legal translation. So, interpreting is a translational activity which one produces a first and final target language output on the basis of one-time exposure to an expression in a source language. زیاتر interpretation depend دەکاتە سەر چی؟ Oral translation. What the word translation itself, it deals with the translation of a text from one language to another. But interpretation, it holds between two persons. You are translating between them. He is speaking in Persian, you are translating into Kurdish, and vice versa, in this way. Legal translation and SWOR translation. How many of you want to be a legal translator? چندێک لە ئێوەیە بێتە وەرگێڕی یاسایی؟ تیاتی؟ ئەتەوێت؟ ئینشاءڵڵا. ئێوە لە قۆناغی چەند؟ Third grade? Third grade. Oh, you are teaching translation, right? In the class? Do you have any topic under the name of? Really? I wish you all the best. Dear students, those students who are graduating from the English language department, they want to be a legal translator. How they could pace toward the process? Yes? When you received your certification, the translation lesson should be written on the certification that you have studied in the college. That's one of the basic and essential condition. Otherwise, they don't let you to be a translator and they don't let you to work as a legal translator. So, when you receive your certification, you are going to visit the court of your area. We have the appeal court in Suleymania City. There are some great people. They are expert people which are called judicial experts. They are taking your documents, your certification, your age, the years of your graduation, okay? And they ask you, you want to be a translator for the language. Which language? For example, we are all of us, we are speaking in Kurdish, okay? In 2012, when I applied for the translation to work as a legal translator, the process was so easy. They told us, bring your certification. So they put a dossier and they open a dossier and on the name Saryas Mohammed Saeed. You have the right to be a translator. From that day, you come to the seminar hall in the court. There is a committee. It consists of 3 persons. They ask you to come to in front of them, and there is a Holy Quran. You are going to swear that you will work in the field of the language that you are permitted to work. Okay, and you will be loyal, and you will be. You should work accurately, and you should not make mistake. You should swear in the name of Allah that was one of the easiest process. with my respect to Holy Quran. But today, being a legal translator, when you graduate, directly they ask you to bring your certification from the English language department, or if you are the graduator from the Arabic language or Kurdish language. The process is too difficult. For example, you are graduating from the English language department. You will be permitted to work as the legal translator from English to Kurdish language and Kurdish to English language. For example, they don't let you to translate Arabic document into English language. So it will that made a chaos in the area, because most of the official documents in Iraq are in Arabic language. So let me show you something. That was the ID for a legal translator. I have this ID. It was issued in the court of Suleymaniye city. Okay. I have the right and permitted to work as the English, Arabic, and Kurdish translator. Okay. And there is an administrative decree. After evaluating all the students, they are going to publish and issue an administrative decree, and they send the copies to all the official departments around the area, to the notary publics, to the official and governmental departments, because you are permitted to work as a legal translator, especially to the Directorate of Security in Suleymaniye City, Asayish Suleymani. If they don't agree on you to be a legal translator, you do not have the right to translate it as a legal translator. And then when you are permitted to work as a translator, they ask you to go to one of the seal maker. أبي مور دركيت موركش چیه؟ تۆ بیتە خاوەنی مۆری خۆت لەسەر بنەمای ئەو کتابە. باشە؟ You should take a copy from this seal to the security of the area, and they ask you, do you have any official paper from the place? Yes, because all of them had the seal of those places and with the seal of the translators, and they are following and focusing, and they insist on that. If you work and translate on those languages, and they ask you for some other sides of the personality behaviors, I don't know, some routines. So after that, they declare your names in this way, with your numbers, with your address. And every year, you should visit the court to renew the ID. They want to ensure on that if you are alive or not. We have some translator are died. We cannot do anything. And they are making sure on if you haven't changed your cell phone numbers. Are you still owning the same cell phone number? Or have you changed it? So you should give all your information again to the judicial experts in the court of Suleymaniye. So for the new generation and for the new students, before giving you the permission to work as the legal translator, they are asking you to enter into an examination, translating in writing process and translating orally. I think they hold in the University of...
Our department,
yes.
Our teachers,
Yes.
In translation, they are going through process. It's been for 2 years.
Yes, they asked someone in order to evaluate the students for Turkish language. They couldn't find anyone. One of the Turkish students was taking an exam among the students. And they ask if you know someone who can evaluate the students for translating from Turkish into Kurdish and vice versa. They told the committee that we know a person. He is among the students and he's taking exam. يعني تنها يكسيانش كبرج لنا تاخي كرنوا كابو.
So it has been done at the USG as well.
Yes.
Now the whole process changed because they are trying to kind of restrict these like issues.
Do you know why?
Because of our students, their majors.
Do you know why? Let me tell you something. We were sitting in the court. We were waiting for the names in order to call us and to swear. Okay? They called someone who was. Thank you so much. She graduated from the agriculture department, but she was speaking fluently in English language. And she went to in front of the committee. They asked her, "Why are you here?" "I want to be a legal translator for English language, Kurdish, and Arabic." Okay, they checked the dossier and the certification. "Oh my God, you have graduated from the agriculture department. You want to be a translator?" آخر با خاطری خوا تخرجی کشت و کاڵ و وەرگێڕان زۆر دوشتی زۆر جیاواز لێ. Engineer, they were translating in the market. You can check. We have many engineers, they are translating for Arabic, Kurdish, and English language. So they have restricted the process. Okay? And for example, they call you during for the day of the exam. For example, there is someone, a body, a statue of a body, okay? They ask you the names to tell them in English language. For example, the parts of the bodies. Some scientific expression. بەڵام من بەم وەزعە والێ ناکەم ئێوە بترسن لە پرۆسەکە. وانییە؟ ها؟ ئەیوانە؟ بەڵام بەداخەوانێ يعني yes.
The whole thing is like just they're trying to restrict it and limit it to this word translation bracket. To be honest, like they have the right because they study it more in detail. I'm teaching them translation, so I feel it is difficult for you to handle what I have taught you, and it is nothing compared to what they study. They
Yes.
study the whole process, like procedures, theories, approach.
That's right. And the process. Yes, the process of translation it doesn't depend on the translating of the official documents. For example, you can translate a book, a novel, okay? But we have many students and they are now working as the legal translator, but most of them they have just the ID, nothing. They cannot work in the market and in the business, the field of the business. There are some famous legal translator in the field and in the area of Suleymania. They are working and they are famous. Alhamdulillah, balam, awanish khoyan chin, kasanikan they are familiar and they are studying and they are reading and they want to receive the new expressions in the three languages, Kurdish, Arabic language. Because, for example, you are translating some official documents for a company. One of the hardest and difficult translation is the documents of the companies. Do you know why? Some of them are written in Kurdish language. Some of them are written in Arabic language. Okay, you have the license to translate between Kurdish and English. So how are you going to translate the Arabic documents? If the authority feels that you are translating illegally, directly, they will take the IDs back and they restrict you to work as a legal translator. For example, one of my friends in the process translated this Kurdish document into Spanish. but unfortunately, he didn't have the license in order to translate to Spanish. So in the notary public noticed that he's not the Spanish translator. He can translate from English to Kurdish and vice versa. Chiruya, Karasat, a disaster. They took the IDs back and restricted, and they sent to the security. I asked them in order to work in Turkish, in order to translate from Turkish into Kurdish and Kurdish, but they didn't let me. I told them that I have graduated from that private college. We can write and speak Turkish fluently. We do not have any problem, but the committee didn't accept that.
So why didn't you do it at the beginning? In 2012, it was accepted.
Yes, one of my friends, Miran Kamal, was the Turkish translator. They accepted. For example, you were receiving a support letter from the college. They have accepted, but today they are not going to accept it. So they are asking you just your language. For example, if someone comes from Baghdad and wants to be a legal translator, he's going to be permitted to work as a legal translator just between Arabic to English and vice versa. Nothing more. I want to show you some official documents.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you can ask.
The ID card that you received from authorities, official authorities, can you be a legal translator to anywhere in the country, or are you only restricted to this KRG region?
Unfortunately, because of PUK and both parties, and they have separated the process, I can translate it only in this area. So yes, in Suleimania. But if I ask from Baghdad to be one of the members of the committee, they will accept it. I have the information on that. But for example, if I want to translate it in Erbil area, they will not accept my documents. Let me show you something. It's also called certified translation. Look at that word, country to country. Aims at legal equivalence between two documents written in different languages. It's performed by someone authorized to do so by local regulations, Basha, which vary widely from country to country. Okay, it's country to country, but it's between a city to city. Wallah, it will be shame for them. Bakhwa, يعني زور سيرة, all of us are Kurdish. But what about the Spanish one? Huh? داماوچی بەسەرا پیانزانی ئەوشکە. I know. But, for example, there is a point I don't want to forget in order to, I should tell you, there are two types of legal translation. For example, someone wants to apply for a Schengen visa. Okay? The consulate asks some documents to be translated into English language in general. For example, Germany consulate, France consulate, Czech Republic consulate. They don't care. It should be translated by a legal translator into English language, okay? But there is another type of translation that you should translate it and visit the notary public. It should be ratified by them. Then they send the documents to the Foreign Department in Erbil, then to the Ministry of Judge, then to the Foreign Ministry of Iraq, and after that, the process, it will be the official document, especially for those they ask for the residency cards. For example, in UK, the United States of America, in Canada, أواني كداوي إقامة كان داوي كومال الدوكومنت عليه كان برزان قبل كاتب عدل تصديق كده. أي كواتي است حكمتي أما تنزاني سيا. أجر من تسمع نوت ريبابليكا كواني أبي ما هواصل. ناهم للاي أوان هي بس يكسب ماله. Where is your ID? بوتشي كيتواني والله مباتو. ئەڵێ دۆکومنتەکانی چی؟ وڵا کۆمەڵە دۆکومنتە لە عەربی و کوردومە بە ئینگلیزی. In order to ensure that you are permitted to work between those two languages. باشە. دوای ئەوە ئەویش کۆمەڵێک فیلتەری هەیە. There are many filters from the Department of Notary Public in Suleymania. They check your documents, they give an official number, then they audited the documents. بەسەری هاچنەوانێ بزان خەڵەتی تیان نییە، غەڵەتی تایپ، غەڵەتی ئیملایی. دوای ئەوە چییە بێت؟ ئەچیتە لای نۆتری پابلیک، کاتب عەدل مۆریەکە. ئەبێ شوێن ئەبێ و کڵەشەیشە دروست کرد بێت. هەموو کڵەشەکانتان پیشانێم. کەواتە دوایڵە چی؟ Others require the translator to be an official state appointee. In some countries, such as the United Kingdom, certain government institutions require that translator be accredited by certain translation institutes or associations in order to be able to carry out certified translations. بەڕێزان خەریکە پرۆسەکەی لای ئێمەش وای لێت وەکۆی مامۆستا کوردستان باسی ڕستریکتیان کردووە لە هەندێک وڵات they ask you if you want to work as a translator you should enter into an institution or a college to study in the field of translation because the translation is an ocean. هیچ کۆتایی نییە. How much you are swimming it will not come to end. پێم وتن translationمان هەیە لە زۆر پرۆسە. ئەوەش بزانن one of the most difficult art around the world is the process of translation. قۆرسترین هونەرە. Especially poem. If you translate a poem into, for example, into Kurdish or into English, for example, from Kurdish into English language. قورسە. ئەبێت تۆ بتوانی هەست و ناخی ئەو شاعیرە بدۆزیتەوە مەبەستی چی بۆ لەو شەیە. قورسترین تەرجەمەی شاعرە. يلا نالي ما بس يجي ولا ودور يا رش شعريات وترجمة كي هر سطحي ترجمة كي ناخوا معناها بخشة وها شابية كان بيا ويهم نشيني كان بيا بس هي وترجمة كي كورسة وها كواتا بابتي نسر ام بروسي مان بەڕێزان ئەمە بۆ هینی ناکە مامۆستا ناچی نایگۆڕێت بۆ سلایدەکەشمان مینیمایز کردووە ئەمە تەرجەمەکان پیشان بە خۆش بێ توانی پیشانمان بە نەنا هەر هینە لەوە دەرەچێنەوە نه هر اچینه او لو درچ مینیمایزی لای خراب هاوش داخلو هر امان بوترو هنا كم دوكمنت هنا كم شامل او معناه شانیە زۆر باشە زۆر باشە خۆم هەر زۆر باشە. So dear friends, we have some official documents I have translated into English language. ئەو دۆکومنتانە بەعام چیچین it depends on وەی لە چیا بینێتەوانێ Iraqi ID, national certification, marriage contraction, birth certification, okay, official documents of the company, support letter, pishgiri ish, for example, da pishgiri ish kan bank documents أو دوكمنتاني ربطي ببنك وهي for example bank statements كشف حسابي بنكي بعربي درجة زور زار بإنجليزي نية قنصلية بزانة تاني حركة وبحسابك تكردوها باور تعمل translator أجر بيه ولو إشي خويا قال بتواني يكم أجر خوي ما بستي بيه يكم خوي شارزاك على الرزمانة English grammar أو زور ميوة especially active and passive voice الله بكر ديار وبكر ناديار بو ألتي Aleti, the session was written in Suleymaniye city on Awana. Aleti, am konusra lekyo nusra la shari Suleymani nusra. Basha to عادة إيوه تنزانيوا official speaking لجهانا they are using passive voice. Okay, it was signed, it was sealed, it was written. Okay, it was taken. It was taken passive خوي لشيء بيناتنا passive معناه بو همو تنسكان بو present simple, present continuous, past simple, past continuous, present perfect, continuous, past perfect and وانيا همو أنا معناه خالي كتير تو translator چی لید جاری وای چی بوینن they are bringing you چی some the process selling and purchasing documents کڕین و فرۆشتن کاکە دۆکمنتی کڕین و فرۆشتن لە یەکەکانی نیشتە جێبوونە ئەزانی بە چەند مستەڵح ئاشنا بیت بە مستەڵحی چی ئەقسات مەرجەکان یەک هاڵێت یەکەم جار چەند قیستەیت بە ئەم بە ڕێزانشمان دانیشن بەخێر بێن فەرموو Evet hocam. Buyurun.
Coming from National Institute, they're from students from English department. They're here to visit our campus.
It's quite okay.
And this actually, we believe that they will benefit a lot from
Good,
this experience.
thanks. They are
These are the-
participating. I should thank them for that, for
They are
attending the
students of
process.
English for specific purpose. This is a specific purpose.
Yes, that's right. Oh, زۆر پێم خۆشە. Big way. بەڕێزان بەخێر بێن. ئەوانەتان کە نوێن هەمووتان بەخێر بێن. I have forgot to tell you when I renew this ID and after the accepting the head of the court, today the head of the court is Dr. Jassim Jafar Hawrami. He should agree. And again every year they declare the decree again. For example, I told you that I have been working as the legal translator since 2012. But every year when I renew the ID, they declare my name again. Okay, in order to show you that in the series of 398, Saryas Mohammed Saeed has the right to work as the legal translator. They are insisting every year. And on the ID, there is the item of issuance date and the expiry date. يعني برواري درسونو expiry شي هي. ببو أوي توف بردام تشي بكي فولو بكي. كيش فولو أماكا؟ أواني كإيشا كان خوشه. كحز جندو بارا بين نواني. باشا. بيموتن. I have told you that we have so many official documents in Iraq, and I told you the specific documents. For example, we have, let me check. Each translator should have a special sketch for the translation. You can design it by yourself. For example, we have the translation of, okay. We have this sketch. This is the translation of an Iraqi ID. from Arabic language into English language. But you should mention, unfortunately, the data show is not clear. So you should mention that from which place and which department you have received the license and the ID number and their of receiving the ID and approve that you can work as the translator. And so your cell phone number is so important. ژمارە مۆبایل زۆر گرنگە. خەڵک وای لە بارزی خۆی ژمارە مۆبایل هەڵەگرێ دانی هەتا نەچیتە پرۆسێکی ئاوا ڕسمیوانێ نازانی ژمارە مۆبایل چەند گرنگە. وێ لە هەموو دنیا لە هەر وڵاتێ هەموو کەسێک خاوەن یەک ژمارە مۆبایلە. نەک ئاوا بە عەلاگە سیم کارتی پێبێ. یعنی تەئکید دەکەنەوە بزان ئەم ژمارە مۆبایلت هەیە. For example, this year last year, sorry, when I have renewed this ID, I told them that I have Asia, Asiacell and Correct Telecom. And they have registered directly. پێویستە بزانن تۆ چەند ژمارە مۆبایلت پێ. یەکسەو تێبێت دوایەوە ئیزافەیەکی بۆ سەر دۆکومنتەکانت باش ئیزافەمان کرد. کەواتە ئەمە چییە؟ ئەمە پرۆسەی وەرگێڕانی چییە؟ ئایدیەکە لە زمانی چیەوانەیە؟ لە زمانی عەرەبیەوانەیە from Arabic language into English language in this way. چیەکەی؟ You should take a copy from the original copy of the ID. Each translator should have its own laptop. He or she should be familiar with the Microsoft Office, especially Microsoft Word. If you can type accurately and fast, for example, someone's knocking at the door. Are you the legal translator? Yes. For tomorrow, I have to visit the Germany consulate. I am in a hurry. You should translate it into English. عاجلة أبي تو ترجمة بوكي. هاتو تدرجاك دوايا. ئەڵێم دۆکومنتانم هەیە بەپەلا ئەبێتە تەرجەمەی فەوریش پارێ زیاتری وەرەگری کاکە تۆڵی عاجلە تۆم بێمەنیشەکەی ئەڵێ چاوبەرێژێن کاکە ئیشم لە ئەبێ ڕایگرم ئەخڕەڵی یوشی میزەڕەداڵە بەخوا پارێ زیاتر ینی مەبەسمانۆ نیە قۆڵی خەڵک ببڕی مافی خۆتە تۆ حەقی خۆ وەرگری دەیەکەی تۆ عاجلە ئیشەکە یعنی فەرقەکە ئەبێ چی بکەی ئەبێ the original documents should be taken by the translator. It should be scanned on the sketch. For example, we have this ID and you should draw the table. You should translate it clearly because the employee and the counselor of the consulates are going to receive the information according to your translation. For example, he asks you to bring a support letter. They want to know about your working place. How much salary do you receive every month? So if you do not translate it accurately and as the information it's written in front of you, it will be a great problem. Maybe if you translate it in a mistake way or illegally, maybe he or she loses the chance of receiving the visa because of you. For example, Dr. Ibrahim Ali Murad told us that the translator who are interpreting between the presidents of the countries, if he or she is not accurate in the process because of illiteracy and illegal translation or mistranslating in a way that's not received the message correctly, the war may take place. لو أنا شر بالنا أنا دولاته باربه يعني جاري وابا مترجمة كبغلط ترجمة كده لنا سروكي دولاته خراف رياكة الراسي كانوا شارزان بوا. And there is an institution in the United States of America. One of the famous translator, he's elder in the process. He is working for Al Jazeera channel in Qatar. لقطر يجي بكا بوتشي. بياكي بتمنى إنه وكيم ليات كردوا. They asked him, how did you become a successful translator? You are translating directly with the statements of the presidents. لقال راس تخول لقى خطابي سروكيراني ولاتانا تشيكات translateaka translationaka. He told them that I was eager to be a famous translator around the world. So I have seeked and checked for an institution. It was in the United States of America. The institution will not accept you until you have a master's degree in the language, in English language. After that, they will accept you. And he told them that at the first step, they asked us to follow the skill of listening for the period of 6 months. يعني بس 6 مانگ بس گوێ بگرن لە چی؟ To all the phrases in the different fields, in the field of politics, economy, social, for example, the other fields. ئەبێت تۆ گوێ لە هەموو مستەڵەحەکان بگری فێر بیت. بەڵێ گەر هەتا ماستەر دیگری و نەبێ قبوڵی ناکات. 6 مانگ they are just listening. اینجا دوای ئەو ئەبنە legal translatorێکی من بەڕاستی گاڵتەم لەو ترانسلیتەرانەیەت کە بەخۆشمانەوانە ئێمە ترانسلیتەرێکی تاو سەرکەوتوو نین بەزدی ئەوە ترانسلیتەرە when you are listening to him یەک وشە مس ناکات یەکسەر ڕاستەوخۆ لەگەڵ براک ئۆباما statements Joe Biden statements weekly statements یەکسەر translate یەکە. Those who are translating for the channels in Ruda, Kurdistan 24, Kursat, they are great translators. They are translating directly, alive, with the statements. For example, this week Joe Biden wants to talk about the retreating of the military army from Iraq. أو نيوس براسي. إيه جيش كيف كشينته العراق. ويا أو بيتا بولت نيوس لا روجنا مكانه. كاتا بابي نوسر بابتكي خومن. إيش تكان رون به. It must be clear. أما يك لا sample لا translation شيء idea. أجر تماشى كان الأخبار ولا شيء I رون ينازانم the legal translator Saryas Mohammed Saeed license number 74 T2012 is authorized by the Court of Appeal do hereby certify that the above mentioned identity card is a translation of the original document I have translated from Arabic into English language. خداني بيعنيت. علي من أو ترانسليترم هالجري جمارة أونا. هستام بدوكمنت إبا ترانسليتي أم دوكمنتا لفلان زمان بو فلان زمان. وانا برترسم لنا وروشي أم ترجمش بتعبتي لك هتبعد لا جختك أنا. هر حاڵەیەکە بێ کات بەدڵ لە ئەستۆی من نییە تۆ بەغەڵەت تەرجەمە و کردی بێ ئەو نمونانەش تامشان ئێم با ئەمە داخینەوە information card کارتی زانیاری یەکێکە لە دۆکومنتە سەرەکیان مەفروضە زۆر بە وردی تەرجەمە بکرێت باشە با ئەمەش لابین purchasing and selling documents گرێبەستی کڕین و فرۆشتنی یەکە عەرز خانوو سەیریکە جەختم لەسەر چی کردەوە گرامەر لێرە چۆن ڕۆڵی خۆی گەڕە جەماعەت passive tense it was sealed and signed by there was a company for real estate investment and general trading it was signed واژۆ کرا by کێ by the second party کڕیار purchaser بۆیە تکاتان لێ ئەەکەم ئەوانەتان کە ئەتانێ ببنە translator please گرامەر لێرەیە ڕۆڵی زۆر گەورە ئەبینێت ئاگات لێی بێ دوو زمانی کوردی زۆر گرنگە زۆر پەرە بەخۆت بیت شارەزابی لە هەردوو زمانەکە متابع بیت سەیریکە بە تایبەتی ڕاگەیاندن کورە سەیرە ڕاگەیاندن کە پڕە لە هەڵە برایژان ئەمیشی کەناڵی ئۆفیشاڵن تێگەی یعنی خۆت دەرکی بێت دایمە مامۆستا ئیبراهیم ئەیوت بەخوا لە دنیا و لە قیامەتە I'm responsible for that because of after Allah because of that man He was encouraging us to be a translator. And he told us the truth of the channels and the process of translation. تيجي دائما يعني جختي لوا كرداني وريابن لا هلا لا جرامر لا شيء كومالك شتي بيوتين يعني انا كسلاني شاني ناتوين باسكين نقوناها. Yes, it's very short. I mean, ورقتها زور short. Yes. He was working for Kurdish Global for 10 years. تینەکە بۆ ڕۆژنامەیەک سەردەمی پێما بە ئێوە نەبوو Kurdish Globe لە هەولێر دەرەچوو. He was the editor. زۆر جار کەسێکی شەیە is or she is encouraging you to work in that field. وات لێ کات تەشجیعتەکە لەو بوارە ئیشکەی. خاڵێکی تر ئەمەوێت بچمە سەر چی بۆی زۆر ئێوەی بەڕێزیش ماندوو نەکەم ئەزانم ماندوون هیلاکن یەک شت ماوە those documents that should be ratified in the notary public ئەو دۆکومنتانی کە ئەبێت لە کاتب عەدل تەصدیق بکرێ يعني ئێستا بۆ نمونە when you are translating for example where is it okay so this is the other side of your document, the back side. تۆ بۆ نمونە ئایدیەکە تەرجەمە کردووە باک سایدەکەیشی کاتب عەدلێ شوێنێکی بێ بۆ مۆرکردن سەیریکە تو ئەم شەرحەت بۆ نووسیوە ئەم شەرحە ئەمە کەسمان لە خۆمانەوە نەمان هێناوە هەمووی لە ڕێگەی برادەر و دۆست و ئەحبابوانەیە ئەوانەی کە بوون بە Legal Translator. The eldest translator in Süleymanistan was Tarakhan. Tarakhan بوو یەکەمین وەرگێڕی یاسایی کە لە محافەزەی سلێمانی و کاتە محافەزە لە شوێنی ئێستای قایمقامێتا بوو ئەو یەکەم کەس بوو ئیتر وردە گەشەی سند. In the court they call us as the judicial expert. بە ئێماڵن شارەزای دادوەری. شارەزای دادوەری کێگرێتەوە legal translator, legal engineer, the other let me check ئەوانەی کە لە بوارەکانی مەسەلەن خەمڵاندنی عەرز و ئاو و قەرەب و ئەم شتانەیە ئیشەکەن ئەوانە هاسە خەمڵاندنی خان و بەرەو زەوی کابرا عەرزی چۆتە عەرزی کەسێکی ترەوانێ داوای حەق و مافی خۆیەکات ئەوە بێ لیژنەیەکی پسپۆڕی جودیشال ئێکسپێرتی بۆ بنێرن هەموو شتەکان هەڵسەنگێنێ و ئەنجامەکەی بەرێتوانێ بۆ حاکمەکە پێی بڵێ کاکە مافی کێ ماف بەلای ئەمە یاخودنە ئەمانە ئەبێ لە مەحکەمەوانێ مۆڵەتیان پێ بدرێت. باشە کەواتە ئەبینیت لێرە ئاڵێ چی I hereby certify that the sworn translator وەرگێڕی سوێن خواردوو Saryas Mohammed Saeed for example has translated ID card number ئەوەنە ژمارە ئەوەنە and dated لەو ڕۆژەی کە دەرچووە لە چ زمانێک from the Arabic into English. The translator confirmed that the translation is correct. تأكيد دەکاتەوە کە ئەم تەرجەمەیە ڕاستە. دوایە وەڵەتی and mention documents in form and contents. لە فۆرمیش و لە کۆنتێنتیشە ئەبێت تەواو ڕاست و دروست بێت. This office مەبەستی چیە this office واتە notary public. This office has not made the translator swear as he is already licensed and sworn. کەواتە ئەم ئۆفیسە ئەم دایرە هیچ بەرپرسیارەتێکی نییە لە میشە تەنها ئەم متەرجمە خۆی مۆڵەتی پێدرا و سوێن خواردووە کەواتاڵێ چی This office is not responsible for the content of the translation, therefore it has been authenticated. لە چ بەروارێکشتا تەصدیقمان کرد بۆنە لەو بەرواری کە تۆ چی ئەوەی ئەیبینن ئەمە ئەبێتە شوێنی چی ئەمە بێتە شوێن و مۆر و ئیمزای کاتب عەدلەکە ئەوەشانە بێتە شوێن و مۆر و ئیمزای legal translatorەکە دوای ئەوە ئیتر کاری پێکرێ بۆ دایرە و داوائیرەکانی تری حکومەتی هەرێم بەڵام ئەوانیش چێک ئەکەنەوە بزان تۆ مۆڵەتت هەیە ناوت هەیە بەڵێ ناوی تۆ چووە لە ڕێی ئەو کتابەوانێ ئەچێ بۆ هەموو دام و دەستگاکانی دەوڵەت. سوپاسدانەکەم. Thank you so much for your attending and for the invitation and for Tishig University for this chance. The time is too limited. I know you are so tired. I hope that I have a little bit benefit for you. In the future, if you need anything, if you have any question, you can call us or you can call Mamusta Atta in order to ask us. Thank you so much. Spasana bu amade buntan Mamusta Jan. Teşekkür ederim.
Thank you very much for the valuable.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Being a legal translator is not an easy task.
No, wallah, ba'khwa, it's too difficult. Bale.
Imagine, let's say that it's like when my brother needed something, we have to translate it, and we were looking for an Italian translator. We found one for $75, and he was using Google Translate. When we said it, they were saying this is not like Google Translate. We have to find another one. They refused there.
أو translatorani كهمانة, for example, in German language, Italian language, Turkish language, yes. أوان زور كمن عدد يعني زور كمان. Certification is تازة أوان. راسته. ئەزانی چی بوای کردو ئەو لایسنس سەوەر نەگرن زۆر بووە بە تایبەتی متەرجمی ئینگلیزی عەربی کوردی هەر لە حەد بەدەر زۆر بووە بەڵێ ڕاستە ئەوەی کە زوو شوێنی خۆی گرتووە ئەوە تاوا شوێنی خۆی کردوتەوانێ بەسەر چاو I feel pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks for the chance. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much, Mom Sajan. Thank you, Mom Sajan. Dastan for the spas ankem. Spas bo ewi barreska amade bu. Dastan spas be salamat bin spas tanakam. Mom Sa Kurdistan ke. Salamat ziyater خوشka gawrakam. Salamat ziyafer. Salamat Mom Sajan. Spas takam. Achitan peyiz bu xizmat tanakam. Xizmat tanakam. Mom Sa